Looks like it's down to the wire. Now this case is harder than a perv at a peep show. Let's see if I can't track down that coy fella I saw sauntering around. Yeah, caught my eye.
Would you pardon me a moment? Your elbow is just by this electrical socket. And I was hoping to charge my old devil of a phone. I think the battery is doomed at this point, and it's really so sad, because it was probably so expensive to manufacture. Oh, this? Oh, it's just a simple little pendant from a lover. Nothing valuable. A one-time lover. It was theirs, but they didn't want it. Worthless to one person, but people can't help but remark upon it now that I wear it. I mean, yesterday, people couldn't help but remark upon my sweater, you understand it, and I found that one on the street. Tomorrow, I'm planning a thrift store brooch. Now, you're dressing to draw no attention to yourself? So you must be the detective. I'm Mr. Teddy Nightingale, he is, but I'm sure that much is clear. You've been speaking to everyone. Did anyone mention I was down by the ski docks at midnight with him, singing his top 5 favorite ski shanties? Oh, and the poles were piney, oh, and the snow was soft. We'll buy our own skis someday. But it isn't all that simple, and I'm sure you heard about the argument that broke the lamp last night. You see, I had boundaries he didn't seem to remember. And I tend to gesture when incensed, and there goes a lamp, and here's the mark on my cuticle, in case you need the proof. It's not that I could afford it, detective. They have a whole basement of lamps available. They can afford it. MacGuffin and me, well, we take long walks, talking like we were philosophers. Oh, don't look now, but there's a bandit behind you. Hello, little one. Always keep a treat for the ski kitties. You run along now. Well, none of them have collars, detective, but they all have friends. Mike and I met here. He showed up last autumn. I've been coming here for years, this perfect oasis in Colorado where nothing bad can happen. What a lovely bubble. We met the night the glitter fires exploded. God, we were beautiful. I heard he was poisoned, that he died quickly. All I gave him was a pillow mint, if that's what you're asking, and I even wafted its odor to my nose ever so delicately, just to be sure that it was really a pillow mint. Oh, and his coffee that morning, cinnamon in black coffee and a Belgian waffle with a little bit of powdered sugar and not a bit of maple syrup. You see, you must know the real Belgian waffles are fried like a fluffy cake donut. He used to call me his fluffy little cake donut. When he was far away, I could always throw some cinnamon in my coffee to remember him by and listen to Plato's Symposium on a cassette tape he left behind. One can't stay in paradise year-round, it seems, only in short bursts. Adonis must return to the surface world. There was other business to attend to. He had children. Well, that wasn't relevant to what we shared, I suppose. Below me, I'm just a trust fund child with a guilty conscience, like anybody else, everybody here. He wanted to know who I was seeing and where and when and how long and with whom. Difficult to lie. I don't think I know what you mean. Well, yes, of course, Nightingale is not my given name. No one's named Teddy Nightingale. I prefer to keep such things private, as my identity is ultimately a liability. Not every guest at Mount Shoehorn is who they write down in the guest log. For example, page 224, Brunhild Carbuncle. I don't think she's really named that, do you? Well, I'm sorry, detective, but what does that have to do with anything? I spend time, a lot of time here, because I love it here. There's a whole world out there that's demanding this presence, and I must be well, I'm sure what you're hearing is that in my travels I may have acquired an aspirational aspect. Well, I haven't heard that name in a long time. But yes, Detective, I am in fact Henry Harrison Halkett. I mean, gosh, if you look at my family, Detective, maybe you'll find out why I left Wyoming. As for MacGuffin, I didn't kill that son of a bitch. I made love to him. We watched birds fly from one side of the horizon to the other from the top of Mount Shoehorn. You ever done that, Detective? He wanted to find out more about me, yes, and I was afraid to disappoint him, of course, but you can talk around that sort of thing. You could spend a lifetime talking around that sort of thing. And I would have for him. And maybe he would have for me. I don't know how he would have felt. I didn't get to tell him. So why would I be the one that would? Well, it was dangerous, to be honest. I cared for him, but it's always dangerous. Is it dangerous for you, Detective? Do you ever mislead people about your intentions? About your feelings regarding them? On a day's work, I suppose. Well, okay, so you found the crawl space in the attic where I live. Are we done here? Is there some other way that I could be humiliated by you? Yes, I smuggled cats into the resort in my mostly empty luggage and then slowly introduced them to the elevators and ski lift. Is there anything else? Yes, I survive on other people's food trash, and rich, important people want to spend time with me. That's so unbelievable. Am I being detained, Detective? Good. I will be leaving. And before you follow up with me, let me just tell you straight out. The pendant is from anthropology. It's a store for rich people that want to look poor. Does that make you feel smart? But the phone I'm unplugging, it's a reissue. An old package with 4 times the memory and processing power. Which metaphor should I identify with, Detective? The shiny conversation piece? Or the daily workhorse that must be recharged? I think you'll find that that horse can swim. And that these walls have been meowing a long time. Am I dispensable or indispensable? I'm Teddy Nightingale. I'm worth a hell of a lot to a lot of people. But I will tell you, Detective, he meant a hell of a lot to me.
Well, that Knighton, what's it? Had a lot of pussies. But it's nighty night. Knighton, what's it? Where to next? I'm all turned upside down. Well, there's one more person I could go to. I don't know. She's abroad. Could she be trusted? Can any woman be trusted?